Hey guys, we're back. So last episode we did our two purple sciences. We got them going, and we've got enough of that we can start our research into our new stuff, so we can get our logistic chests. Now, I inadvertently forgot about the fact that I wasn't recording, and I started Robotics 3 already. So we're just going to go ahead and resume Robotics 3. Then we're going to pick up Advanced Logistics, and then we're going to pick up our logistics chests. All right, and then we're going to back up here, and we're just going to continue to march forward with our blue sciences. There we go. All right, so there's that. So next, we want to get ready for having this requester chest. Now, the other two chests I'm not too worried about, but we're going to want our requester chest. So we're going to make that a long-handed, so it takes the red and the green. We're going to leave this one a short-handed, so it takes the steel chests. And as soon as we have that recipe, we can put it in here, and we're good to go there. So there we go. There's that. Next project, and this one is it's minor in scope and minor in change, but it is something that I guarantee is going to make some people's heads explode, especially individuals who view themselves as God's gift to Factorio, if you will. It is what it is. I recently ran into a thing where I had a tete-a-tete with an individual on Facebook who apparently kind of thinks he's God's gift to Factorio and has all these wonderful setups, and they're beautiful and efficient and this and that and the other. And so far they're turning out to be Canadian girlfriends. Now, that's a term that someone here in the US probably will recognize. It's not a slight on Canadians. It is a slight on a certain type of individual. Let's go ahead and do this change, and then I'll explain what I'm talking about while we're at it. So what we're going to do is, in Seablock, unlike regular Factorio, you're taking your ores out of deposits. So you kind of regulate how much you take out by, whether you just need it or not. If you need it, it takes it out. If you don't need it, it just kind of sits there. Unfortunately, in Seablock, that's not the case. For instance, we need a lot of aluminum right now. But in order to make aluminum, when you make the ore, you also get iron ore, copper ore, zinc ore, titanium, and cobalt, if memory serves me right. Well, maybe you don't need those right now. And what ends up happening is they back up, and you run out of processing room, and everything stalls. That has happened a couple of times to where I have filled up some of these, because that's one of the reasons I ended up using the warehouses, is to kind of alleviate some of that early on. But even with the warehouses, they eventually get full and the whole process stalls. So what I'm going to do is something that you would never really do in the normal game, but in Seablock, it kind of almost encourages it. And that's why I say it's going to make people's heads explode. What we're going to do is, I have added to my mods, I've added void chests. And we're going to put down a void chest for some of these items that we keep getting an overabundance of and having to actually destroy them. Now, I checked out whether or not we could use a Miniloader to do this, and the void chest will not accept from a Miniloader. So what we're going to have to do is, we're going to have to put in inserters, and then I'm going to go ahead and regulate them. So let's go. While I'm doing that, let me explain the term Canadian girlfriend. In high school or in middle school, often you see it in high schools. You'll have this one guy who, he's got this girlfriend, and she's beautiful, and she's a year ahead of him in school, and she's Heck, she's even a cheerleader. In fact, maybe she's the head of the cheerleaders, and this and that and the other, and on and on and on, and how wonderful this gal is. And he said, "Oh, that's cool. Well, can I meet her?" Well, no, nobody can meet her because she actually lives in Canada. So that's a Canadian girlfriend. The reality is no such person exists, and it's all a bullshit, you know, kind of thing. Usually, it's people who want to speak, you know, pretend to be something they're not, kind of thing. But you know, whatever. Anyway, that's the term. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set these. If you look, stack size is 200, and you get 768 stacks. So if you do the math, it works out to 153,600. So I'm going to set these to the item, and in this case it's zinc, right? So we're going to go zinc, Z-I-N, there it is, zinc ingots, and if it is greater than, let's say 153,550. All right, so everything over and above that will go into a void chest. And yes, we're just kind of destroying it and it's going away, but the reality is we got more of it than we know what to do with. So then we're going to go, and this is nickel ingots, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go nickel, and we're going to go greater than 153,550. And then that way, well, no, that shouldn't be greater than, oh, it didn't take. I didn't put it in the right place. 153,550. Right? There we go. So that way we don't have to keep blowing the stuff up, because what I've been doing in the past, I've been putting it in the chest and shooting it and blowing the chest up. And that's wasteful for chests. So let's not do that. So lead, L-E-A-D. And that's lead greater than 153,550. There we go. So that's going to basically keep this from filling up to the point where we're over what we need, and it's going to still keep us a buffer of it, but we won't go over, so we won't have to keep destroying it. Now, we do have this whole pile here that we are going to get rid of. I hate to do it, but there it is. Go away. And now we will just, there we go. All right. I'm not going to do it with the iron because we have been using the iron up. I'm not going to do it with the copper for the same reason. But these three entities right here, the nickel, the zinc, and the lead, we're getting way more than we need. And like I say, right now there is no way to not get them. Although we just recently did do a research, and there is a new process that I can get aluminum ore just by itself. Let's take a look. I can do this. I can do jovolite chunks, and I can do crotinium chunks and just get aluminum oil. But that's something we've just recently kind of gotten. Before then, there was no way to get just aluminum. So you ended up getting all this other stuff that I just didn't have room for. So I was, you know, generally speaking, blowing it up eventually because I couldn't use it. So now that will prevent all of this from backing up and just sitting idle when we're waiting for other stuff. Okay, let's get rid of these, and let's go down here and get our logistics chest started. So here we go. We want requester chests. Now it's going to start making requester chests. We're going to go ahead and limit that to 1 stack, just like we did everything else. The other thing I did, as you can see, is I went through and I replaced a lot of these chests with provider chests, so that we will be able to grab what we need as time goes. I am working on getting our logistics network set up. Now, yes, I know I'm covering a lot of empty area with logistics network, so it is a lot of the roboports that I don't necessarily need, but I'm doing that because I still don't know exactly what I'm going to build in these areas, and I'm of the philosophy of it's better to have and not need than need and not have. And since I'm already getting an overabundance of certain things like the iron and the copper and what have you, I might as well use it, right? It's not going to kill us. The only thing that's really kind of killing us is the red circuits. And hopefully by doing the void chest thing that we did, that will help with some of the red circuit issue. We won't have to be waiting for it like we were before. So there it is, guys. We got that going. So next episode, we are going to start addressing this. That's where we stand. I'm still filling in over here. That's fine. But we're going to start addressing this. And what I'm going to do is, in essence, duplicating what we've got going here. In other words, I'm going to leave this. We still need these materials. We still need these resources while we're setting this up. So I'm going to leave this production here. But what I'm going to do is build new production over here, and get it going. So all of the factories and the what have you, the assemblers, the crystallizers, etc., 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 that we're going to need for this, I'm going to start building. There's no sense in wasting you guys' time watching me gather the materials just to build this stuff, so that we've got what we need to build over here. So I'm just going to do that off camera. Meanwhile, that's going to allow me to produce sand. We'll get this filled in. We'll get all of the stuff that we need to build all of this stuff. And in the next episode, we're going to start creating a new production area. By then, I will have the all the assemblers and the crystallizers and the OMIs that we need, and we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm still debating on this whole liquid bus and extending it over, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do so. It's just a matter of how. Am I going to take this out and move it over? I don't think so, because I'm hooked into some of this. Am I going to duplicate it over here and then connect the two? I think that's probably going to be what's going to happen. Again, that's going to be another one of those things that are going to make some people's head explode, because they're going to view it as wasteful, blah, blah, blah. Frankly, I don't care. I play the way I play, and I have fun. And at the end of the day, that is the point of Factorio, tongue-tied there a minute, is to enjoy yourself and have fun. And, you know, I spent a whole lot of my life worrying about the little niggly bullshit and all the little specifics and this and that and the other. And these days, I don't give a crap. As long as it works, I'm happy. So there we go, guys. That's my 2 cents worth on life. All right, I will talk to you in the next episode. You guys take care. Bye now.